Number 1. Here we go, game 1. And Career, who has been struggling here in the LCK Cup play-ins and playoffs, he's put on Yuumi. And I think it does show power. We've seen this hovered a little bit, actually. Some players have been playing with the idea of playing Yuumi, but we are actually going to see it come out here with the Ezreal. The Karma was banned. The Bard was also banned. So maybe they said, well, if you want to pick Yuumi, go ahead, but we'll take away a couple of the other enchanters that are very good on this patch.
The thing is, as much as you're generally going to be safe in lane, when it comes to 5v5s, there's a lot of things that can reach you in terms of, you know, you're playing into Vi, Rumble, Taliyah, Rakan. Ezreal is a very safe AD carry, but there's no guarantee of safety into a composition like this. If Smash is too far forward and gets blown up, it's going to be hard for Career to survive afterwards. You know, if the Unraveled Earth comes out from Chovy afterwards, you can't just dash into someone new. That's a little scary.
Yeah, they were trying to play for the level 2. Career hopping off of the Ezreal, trying to auto-attack as much as possible, but
yeah, and
into the bouncing grenade and being Yuumi, not going to go well.
And Career bin all 3 combat sums as well, very early on in the lane. This is honestly one of the advantages of Yuumi. People think of Yuumi as being like pretty weak in lane, but the fact that you have the double combat summoners, also you're playing into a Rakan with Spellbook, you have Airy as well. You actually have strong laning power in this situation, but they kind of used the summoners to not great effect. It's not getting the most value.
Yeah, they were trying to be pretty aggressive early on.
Yeah, you saw the exhaust came out on Rulo when he had the 4th shot, so he just didn't shoot it.
Yeah.
Just held on to it.
Denied.
And Chovy doing pretty well in this matchup here. Kind of seeing why he prioritized that Taliyah.
Yeah, I think Taliyah, you know, Atlas and I have both been pretty, I think all of us, even you, Ox, have been talking about how Taliyah just doesn't seem to do a lot of damage. But it's in games where it's kind of even, you're playing into a lot of hard dive where the Taliyah can be good, but isn't, okay, well, the Yuumi's in a lot of trouble. Career just going to get locked up and just die. First blood given over to Ruler. That is one of the things you cannot do if you're going to play Yuumi.
Yeah, a little bit disrespectful, and now this should be a 2nd kill secured.
Yep, Canyon right here. Smash has his flash, but yeah, just going to go for the knock up here. Nice tanking with the barrier. It was a little bit close, but Canyon is going to pick up the kill. That's 2 already for Gen.G.
Huge lead for Gen.G to get those early kills. You know, I was saying that this bot lane shouldn't be threatened by the Rakan. It shouldn't. Really. Yeah. No reason for Career to be getting engaged on in this situation. No reason for you to be standing outside of the Ezreal when you're not really doing anything. You're not autoing someone. You know, I'm not saying you should sit inside the Ezreal the whole time, because you do jump out to auto, but you were just standing outside for no reason. There was nothing gained from it there. Duro with a great engage, great setup, and the decision to make Ruler tank, because you're ranged and because he has both sums, he can very easily disengage. He does burn those summoners, but it meant it was such a safe dive.
Yeah, it's just very clean execution from Gen.G. Able to not only get the 1 kill off of the mistake, but also punish and get a 2nd
Look at the items. So Smash, okay, we can't actually look at them right now.
So the last Yuumi was in 2024 in April.
So I'll spoil it for you.
That was
Ruler
Ellen.
Has a BF sword, Smash has a tier, and oh well, he has the little fairy in the bottle. The
moat.
Yeah.
Glowing moat.
Seems like a little bit of an item disparity. And not only that, Duro picked up the Oblivion Orb as well. So, not exactly even, is what we'll say.
Yeah. I think it's pretty rough. Like, if you're playing into Gen.G, we're talking about how this comp, if it does get behind, it might struggle, but it is Gen.G after all, and it's a team that doesn't often get too far behind. And if you make one tiny mistake, this is why I was so worried about the bottom lane Smash and Career, is that they just don't have a lot of experience, especially Career. Like, Smash at least has some. As every so often we're looking at the top lane, trying to go for an aggressive trade here. You see Kiin is going to overheat, and Siwoo's taking a ton of damage from those autos. He's going to be silenced for a while, but does get it back. The flash on him from Siwoo, though, and Kiin has to flash away, and he dives in the solo kill against Siwoo's Ornn.
And you know, I was a little concerned about letting the Rumble go open, but Siwoo has it on lock, has it handled, gets the solo kill onto Kiin. Beautifully played there. And top lane going pretty good so far. A bit of a referee for Dplus that they desperately needed.
Well, they're going on in. They want to pull the trigger on a ruler who does not have his subs back. It is 3v4 though, guys, and that is a Yuumi. ShowMaker just gets here. So going extra aggressive is not going to pay off. Smash has to flash away. Does avoid the knockup. You know that Smash pretty good at pressing his buttons, but the idea to go in there, not the best.
Yeah, a little bit overzealous. You have to remember as well, Ruler has a BF sword, right, compared to the tier on the Ezreal. And you're dealing with a Taliyah who can just circumvent so quickly, can reach the fight so much faster. This is that top lane play. So Siwoo goes aggressive, doesn't actually connect the knockup. But in this situation, gets that brittle stack there, and he already has the Negatron Cloak, which gives a ton of magic resist, gets the grasp stacks. Kiin kind of runs out of damage. Because he overheats, he just has nothing left in the tank in the extended play. And then here. So Chovy's already moving down. Lucid buffers his CC, but Chovy's wall kind of cut ShowMaker off, and he doesn't want to dive in and use his cooldowns and end up like in melee range of everyone. Also, Smash just has no damage, if we're being honest, at this point. So,
like, that was just never going to work.
Yeah.
I think even if ShowMaker gets in, I don't even think they win. Just based off of pure item disparity. And now we have Duro here. Just going to get a nice trade onto ShowMaker, who still doesn't have his flash. Didn't have his flash in the last play as well, so it just was never going to be a comfortable spot for him to go in. And just trying to turn onto the guy that did not have any sums, the 80 carry, but it did backfire big time.
Yeah. I think as well, because he flag and dragged to close distance on Ruler, but didn't actually connect with him. Yeah. So, didn't really achieve a ton there. And Siwoo has a massive lead. Even before he got that solo kill, he was actually up in farm. So, Siwoo doing really well in this matchup. Not something we've typically seen. Kiin has been pretty rock solid for Gen.G so far. And in these Rumble vs tank matchups, he's kind of just farmed his opponents. So,
yeah.
Siwoo having a great performance, which is something we desperately needed.
Didn't Cashback get nerfed slightly on this patch?
Yeah, it was really minor though. It was from 8% to 7.5, so...
Yeah, that's... doesn't really do... That's like a difference of like 20 gold, 50 gold. It can add up, but it's not the biggest.
I'm fine with a nerf like that, because, you know, you don't need to gut the runes so no one takes it, but toning it down a bit is completely fine. No, it's fine just to gently lever it down a little, instead of just saying, like, you know, if they lowered it to like 6%, probably no one would just take it.
That's generally what they do. So wow. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, a 0.5% nerf? Crazy.
Like, maybe it does need another nerf down the line. I guess we'll see. But for now, I think a little nerf was good.
Yeah.
And obviously, that cashback nerf was not why Kiin got solo killed there.
No, obviously not. But maybe a little bit less farming of the gold in these matchups.
Yeah, the payoff won't be as significant. Very slightly. You'll have 20 less gold later.
Yeah. Canyon over the wall, you could see they were considering going in onto that, but not going to pull the trigger. No completed items between both sides mid-jungle.
I mean, what's crazy is that given Siwoo's had such a good performance top lane, and he has a 400 gold lead, Gen.G is still 2,000 gold up, sorry. 2,000 gold in the lead. That doesn't feel good. This is just the top lane existence. It's like, guys, I'm winning lane, I'm on Ornn. We gave them Rumble, and I'm winning lane on Ornn. And then you just look at your team like, oh, well,
yeah.
It's okay, guys.
Well, he's going to get some extra levels,
guys,
extra XP.
They're only 2,000 gold ahead. Once I hand out my ornaments, we can easily close that gap.
Yeah. I mean, if you are DK, you are looking at this in a very long-term lens. And for Gen.G, you know, it's great that they have this early lead. I would like to see them push it a little bit farther. They already got the first Drake. They're going to get the second one, which is Ocean. So looking like it's lining up for a very useless Chemtech Soul or something else. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Gen.G are hoping not a Chemtech Soul.
Yeah.
Also, I always find it so funny when you get like the goofy summoners from Summoner Spellbook. Like Duro just has Ignite Goes. It just looks...
I mean, it's not that bad on Rakan, you know?
Sure.
You press the quickness and
I mean, they're useful, it looks funny, right?
Yeah.
They are looking for Siwoo now. He has sums, though.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get out of this one. The ult is going to be utilized first, and then the flash comes out, and that's just a little bit too late, as it's a very easy pickup for Kiin to get a kill back.
Also, the fact that Canyon has the Sundered Sky already, and he only has magic resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it is the completely correct item to be building into the Rumble, but it's just the pains of having that AD jungler AP top. Not really a ton he could do in that situation, just unfortunate wave state. So Kiin going to get a good amount of gold there. Also gets a hit in the turret, and with that crystalline overgrowth gets a plate. So now he's up in gold in the matchup. Bailed out by Canyon there.
That's why the 1v1 doesn't matter.
Oh, and so also TP came in top from Siwoo. Kiin's going to reset.
Yeah, they can't challenge us. Ever.
Yeah. Kiin
like,
still has ult as well.
There.
Kiin still has ult, so they absolutely cannot... No,
they can't. No, you can't. Okay, they're going to try anyway. As Lucid does go in, they're trying to take out Ruler, who is going to get cataclysmed, and is left alone, goes into the barrier, and eventually he survives against only the Jarvan. And this is kind of the disaster we were expecting. 2 kills do go to Gen.G on top of the Drake they were already getting.
It just felt like they weren't communicating. Like, if she was TPing top, that is fine. Don't contest Dragon. Like, you can't do both at the same time. Either Siwoo is joining the fight for Dragon, or I think the better call is you opt out of it, because again, you have this... It's Chemtech Soul as well. You could have just given it up.
Yeah.
Hope you flipped well. Chemtech Soul, cool. We don't really care that much about the Dragons. But they opt into this. They know... Firstly, they know that Rumble still has Equalizer. He didn't use it in that play. And Smash is approaching so aggressively here, so far forward. They try and kill Ruler. They don't even end up getting him. ShowMaker's nowhere near the fight. And Kiin TP's in with Equalizer. This was just never the play to make. And Gen.G was so ready for it. Yeah. You even saw Kiin started to run top lane. Like, he was moving top lane because he was like, well, if they don't fight, I'll start walking top lane, but I'm saving my TP in case they do. Yeah, it was just such a lack of coordination from Dplus there that Gen.G are ruthless in punishing. And now with a 4,500 gold lead, I'm not really sure the Yuumi stocks are going to come in.
Yeah, I don't really see it happening. I think we're probably going to kind of flatline here. Chovy's got a giant smile on his face, by the way. He's just having a great time. I just don't see this game being even in 5 minutes. It's already not even. DK would have to get some kind of massive play. And if you're like 5,000-6,000 gold behind against Gen.G in the mid game, you're not winning. I don't care what the comp is.
I think a game like this almost feels frustrating because, you know, Siwoo had, you know, the great early plays, but it feels like the plays that Dplus have suffered in are just like silly mistakes, right? You know, like Korea just being outside, like not connected to Smash and being punished by Duro was unnecessary. Going for the Dragon fight when Kiin has TP and Siwoo doesn't, unnecessary.
Going aggressive onto Ruler when ShowMaker was going to get walled out without his flash.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
And this is kind of how Gen.G operate. They will punish these mistakes and unlikely to make many of their own, right? Like Kiin, yes, he got solo killed, but like team-wide macro mistakes, they just don't make many. And it's they are very good at punishing yours, very efficient at it. But it almost feels frustrating when you look at Dplus and you see these and you're like, why are you doing that? But this is kind of how it goes. And now this game feels like it's in a bit of a dire spot. There is obviously, you know, the hope that maybe they can sort of stall things out. And the fact it is a Chemtech Soul, the fact it's a Chemtech Soul gives you a little bit of hope, but it's not looking great.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the reality of LCK Cup nowadays as well, is that we do have a top tier, And every team that's below the top tier is not that close at the moment. Like Gen.G and T1 are
and Bro.
heads. And Bro, sure.
Yes.
Yes, Stegon is here today. And, okay, so Gen.G and T1 and Bro.
Yeah.
In the top tier, and nobody can really touch them. I mean, T1 has lost some games here and there, but I would still consider them on at least the same tier. Like, nobody comes close to those two teams, which is why a lot of the...
teams.
Huh? Three teams. Yeah, no, I forgot.
Yeah.
Which is why all the Preds today, most of them were 3-0. We had 3 3-1s out of 14. 11 of them were 3-0, and it's not surprising. And I feel like DK, if they're gonna get on Gen.G's level, they have to clean up some of the basic macro mistakes that they've been making in this game.
Yeah, I think as well a big factor is Dplus. You know, they have this new bot lane coming in. Gen.G are the same team as last year.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of less experienced, younger players on Dplus, and I think you can see a lot of the urgency, right, in some of these plays that they're making. Gen.G feeling very refined in their decisions. Herald is up and available. What do you see Lucid trying to get some vision on this side of the map?
Gen.G have not dropped a single objective yet. They have both Drakes, all 3 Grubs. So I would imagine they can just go for this. Kiin, bottom lane with his TP, Siwoo has his as well.
Well, at least Gen.G probably won't get Atacam this game.
Probably. I like how you leave it open.
Yeah.
It's like, there is still a chance somehow that
I'm a little bit, maybe. That, you know, I'm not 100% certain. Maybe there's a way.
There's still an angle for Gen.G, I'd say.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. If we just roll it back some patches, maybe. As Ruler is, you know, about a level and a half ahead of Smash here.
Oh, Ruler goes to second item Sip and Spang.
There's a lot of shielding on the enemy team.
I mean, there's some shielding. There's like the
Orange
Jarvan.
gonna shield, Jarvan's gonna shield, Azir's gonna shield. You know?
I mean...
I think
it's mostly the Yuumi.
It is, yeah. He could have gone for something else. Maybe next he'll go for Collector 4th. You know, he's obviously not going for it here 3rd, but perhaps the 4th item he'll go Collector and make a lot of people very angry. But to be honest, I think at this point he can build literally anything. Lucid is trying to take this Rift Herald. And, you know, if it wasn't on Vision, I think maybe he would have been able to take it down. But we got TPs coming in. This is definitely what we expected from this one. ShowMaker and Lucid sticking on this as the Equalizer goes directly on the ShowMaker, and it will actually, the kill at least, go over to Lucid. But immediately ShowMaker's just kind of dead, is going to get a nice sweep. And the eye was also picked up, so 1 death as Siwoo's trying to get in there. They're actually re-engaging here, 4v5, as Lucid is just going to die. And Smash and Siwoo just have to run tail between their legs, trying to get as many Qs down as possible, but yeah, just not looking so hot. As Gen.G will pick up 2 kills. Gonna actually lock down Siwoo as well, just kind of posturing in mid lane for some reason. As Siwoo,
oh no.
Oh, it's coming down, and oh no, Smash jumps out of the way. But to be honest, if he didn't do that, he probably dies too. So, yeah, doesn't look great, but it's still 3 kills here for Gen.G.
Not sure you want your 80 carry blocking the Jin holds for your Ornn. Kind of doomed if you do, doomed if you don't.
Yeah.
Bad to worse, I feel like. Not really progressing too well in this situation. The Equalizer does a bit of damage there to ShowMaker, but the follow-up is swift, and I feel like this is kind of the problem here, is that it's so easy for this composition to get on even these safe targets like an Azir and Ezreal. And the thing is, Dplus got the Herald. They didn't need to make more out of this. This felt a bit desperate. And I get you're behind, and maybe they were like, hey, we see an angle. This was unnecessary.
Ow! Well, at least Smash and Career got away. He did have to flash. Okay, Smash is online. He's got 2 items.
Actually, he's
finished
not online, he's in person.
He's still playing the game on the internet.
Well.
That's how we're linking all of this up.
Yeah, Ruler's build doesn't... It's not a hugely intimidating gym build, if we're being honest.
I think it's great if you're snowballed out of control. You know?
Kind of like Mosquito Jin.
Yeah. You saw that fourth shot onto Smash in mid lane, did like half his health. He's very accelerated, you know?
I mean, if you're that far ahead, it doesn't really matter what you build.
Yeah.
He could have gone AP Jin.
Maybe you should have. I think it would have made this game more interesting. Maybe not that much more, but like a little bit more.
Have you seen,
we could have talked about it.
Have you seen AP Jin before, by the way? Do you know what has AP scalings on Jin?
Is it his like flowers on the ground?
Yes, that's what has AP. You just stack a ton of them in a bush and you just wait for someone to walk in. That's all you got going for you.
It's like Teemo, but worse. Or actually, maybe it's better. I don't know. Teemo's pretty bad. Ruler is just kind of dying. Yeah, it's going to be a shutdown. He just elected to die in the mid lane.
He did have flash. He could have lived that, but holding on to the flash for that soul fight was definitely an overstep there.
We got a big rotation coming in from Jarvan.
I don't think Lucid has the damage to kill him.
Not alone, but he might want to try to keep him around. Flash available for Kiin, and Gen.G just pulled the trigger on the mid lane as Smash is going to be caught out. They don't have that much damage, but it is enough as ShowMaker eventually will take down Kiin, but he doesn't really care about that. At least the shutdown does go over to ShowMaker as Gen.G, after that pick, pushing mid.
I think some good plays from Dplus in terms of the picks they're getting, but I do think that Smash should have backed away. When your jungler's walking down and make that play bot, you kind of have to give space. You know, you're making plays on one side of the map. You're not strong enough to hold presence mid at the same time. But getting the kill on the Ruler, getting the kill bot as well, pretty good. Here, Ruler just feeling somewhat overconfident. Also, I like that the Yumi's just kind of floating weirdly. The Yumi
Cut to the next clip.
Disconnected, just kind of there.
Accurate.
Yeah. This is kind of what I was talking about though with the Vi, just always being able to fight. What is the Yumi doing? Just cat behavior.
Yeah.
And here, we didn't get to see this one fully. Lucid alone doesn't really have the damage. I think Kiin was like, hey, I can just kill this Jarvan. But Lucid trying to disengage from the situation, trying to buy time, and then ShowMaker comes in. And he just survived. That was so close. Oh, the Triumph!
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain I saved him, but it was definitely close.
It's going to be Chemtech Soul, 23 minutes into the game. And we like to rag on Chemtech Soul, but, you know, it's still a soul. It's still going to give you some beneficial stats. You see that Lucid is trying his best to have some presence here. The wall is going to come down and deny Shelly on top of it. Equalizer as well. More of a zoning and damage ult. They have the Jin as well, opening up the curtains as in goes Lucid, just taking a massive amount of damage, just dies. And the double knockback here from Chovy onto Smash, and Siwoo should put an end to this one as ShowMaker trying to get on in there and send it for the team. But instead he's just going to eat a rock to the face. Career as well. Yeah, I mean, he's playing Yuumi. Just sad times for cats everywhere on Runeterra. So that's going to be the end of that one. A full ace, and only Kiin dies.
Yeah, honestly, I actually think Dplus did a half-decent job of fighting this given the conditions, but it's just the goal lead is insane. So hard to fight from this scenario. ShowMaker gets a lot of damage down, but very difficult. Lucid doesn't get a ton of value, just gets blown up immediately. Smash is really far forward, it gets melted. ShowMaker, though, is doing a lot of damage. Dashes forward to dodge Duro, uses the ult to disengage.
Boom.
Nearly gets Chovy at the end. Kind of feels like it's him against the world right now. But unfortunately, he can't do enough.
There's a thing happening here. Okay, well, with Smash, might be able to get this one down. The flash comes out from Ruler, and Lucid flashes in, but Ruler just lives through everything. And I think that's a lot of help from Duro, as well as some big items helping out. As Smash and Lucid get baited into dying. I mean, at this point, you might as well, right? Like, you might as well just go for a pick. That looks actually kind of close, but not meant to be at the end of the day. It's 11,000 gold here, 25 minutes, plus a Chemtech Soul. So, hey, at least we have some more items coming in, you know?
Yeah?
Ornaments, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
How many Orn items can you give out? Can you give out 12? Then it'll be even. 12 more. 12 more. They don't have 12 items to give. They don't have that many items. That if you could literally just turn, if Orn could make every single item you have an ornament, GenG would still be up in gold.
Yeah. Taking a look at the levels.
That's, yeah. It's
taking a look at all the numbers, it feels like.
It's a little bit of a rough one.
This really doesn't bode well for the series, right? We have a 20-match winning streak for Gen.G.
No.
Really looks like he's coming and is on the way.
나 야, 어디가? 아, 당황스럽네.
He's saying like, where are you going?
진짜 나 너무 당했어. 이거 터뜨려. 아, 네.
Not sure if he was talking about Lucid or Duro, to be honest, but probably Duro.
I think it was because of the blast cone. He just went crazy.
Like, where are you going? Why are you going to the pit?
Like bro, help me.
Yeah.
But Duro came in and blocked the Mystic shot. He was there for him.
Yeah. And now Gen.G just pushing bot. They have 3 Void Grubs as well. And essentially just able to siege here very easily with the Baron. That, I believe, is nearly going away. But either way, just coming on in there as Duro does take a bunch of damage. Okay, there's the right timer. 30 seconds on the Rebel Baron power play. Trying to go on a Kiin here. He is very caught. Has to flash away. Lucid's going in. And eventually will take him down with the Cataclysm. Duro gets in there. And we are getting down and dirty in this game. It is getting quite messy as Canyon going to be knocked up as well. Trying to just get out at this point in time. But Gen.G, the wallets are gigantic. The coins are flying out of it as they're running around. And you see Smash trying his best, is going to get knocked up by the Rakan, but he is here. And the Ezreal, it's enough, and now they're going to get in onto Ruler. Might even be able to take out Chovy here. Not quite, but Gen.G certainly playing with their food and not liking what they see.
This is getting messy from Gen.G, honestly.
Yeah. They don't generally do this.
Oh,
he's
he wanted to keep that GA alive.
Yeah. Smash is, he is trying his best to smurf this game, and it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I saw Duro was spamming his E button. I think he lives. He has the upgraded Mirror Treads. Oh, yeah, can't find anything. I saw Duro spamming his E button. I could tell. And he was just out of range to dash, and they wouldn't walk back in range to let him dash.
They don't want him to get the POM, you know?
That's so messed up. KDA ruined.
Justice for support. Can't believe they would do that.
Actually, it hit me on a deep level, because I've been through that and I've experienced that. It's horrible.
Yeah.
You know, this was Rula getting revenge for the blast cone earlier when he was like, where are you going? Look, this is what happens, so it's coming up in a moment. You know, they're getting a little bit goofy. Rula walks around here. They are overstaying a bit. And Duro goes in, and he's like, okay, let me dash you, let me dash you, let me dash you. And then Rula walks back then. Then he walks back after he's already dead.
Yeah.
Betrayal. Absolute betrayal.
Well, at least he got punished. Yeah. Ruler also immediately died, so.
That's solidarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I couldn't help you, so here I go.
Yeah, this is kind of showing Dplus starting to scale up a bit into the composition. The long-range power of the Ezreal, Yuumi, Azir is a threat.
Elder's
if you
about
can't
to
reach
spawn.
them, yeah. Flip an Elder. This is a game plan.
12,000 gold, okay? Smash just arcane shifted towards Duro, who has everything.
By the way, Rula has no armor pen.
Yeah.
And this Ornn is tanky.
So the Mosquito build is actually, okay, this time he's going to go in. The damage not quite layered, but in goes Canyon. The follow-up again, not quite there. Canyon in trouble. Double sweep comes in from ShowMaker for him to just kind of go into the turret and die. You know, DK, now that they're 12,000 gold behind, are playing really well. it just doesn't really matter because the wallets are just so heavy. And that's going to be the end of this fight, it looks like, as the grenade does come out. And Smash is just on the run. Lucid trying his best to just taxi the team out. And no root is going to land, but the fight is still heavily won by Gen.G.
I think ShowMaker goes for the aggressive play, but they just can't quite finish them off. You know, a bit too tanky, not enough gold, the Chemtech Soul. And the problem is, ShowMaker going in means they lose one of their carries. And now, trying to defend, need to clear out this wave.
Well, they're clearing out the wave decently well, even though they do not have the Azir. But another wave does come in, and it's a cannon wave. That's going to be pretty rough as Lucid goes in, goes out, but the knockback comes in on the Smash. And that will put the knockback onto this game as well, as Gen.G will be taking this one 1-0. It got messy, it got crazy, it didn't have to, but Gen.G did have a lot of fun in this one as they take game number 1.